Many people believe that the making of The Wizard of Oz was completely magical and innocent, but in reality, it was far from that. During filming, Judy Garland faced severe challenges, including a demanding schedule and health issues caused by early use of pills to control her weight. There was a tragic accident when a stunt person was injured on set, leading to injuries that almost ended careers. The production faced multiple setbacks, such as a tornado that unexpectedly tore through the studio lot, destroying sets and delaying filming. Behind the scenes, there were intense disagreements among the cast and crew, some of whom later revealed feeling pressured or manipulated. Rumors also circulated about strange occurrences during shooting, like unexplained noises and equipment failures, adding to a sense of unease. Garland struggles with her mental health, and the high-pressure environment led to years of emotional pain, hidden from the public. While the film remains a beloved classic, the truth about its creation reveals a much darker side, filled with hardship, controversy, and unresolved mysteries. Many who worked on the movie carried scars from their experiences, showing that the story behind The Wizard of Oz is more complex than the cheerful fantasy it presents. During the production of The Wizard of Oz in 1939, Judy Garland faced serious challenges related to her health. At that time, Garland contracted hepatitis, a severe illness that left her extremely weak and close to death. Despite her fragile condition, filming continued, and her health problems caused delays in the shooting schedule. The studio, MGM, was under pressure to finish the movie on time to meet release deadlines, which led to script rewrites and adjustments to accommodate Garland's condition. However, MGM did not slow down its pace. Instead, it pushed Garland to return to work, even when her health was far from fully recovered. The studio prioritized its financial interests, aiming for the film's success, rather than considering Garland's well-being. This situation created a lot of stress and hardship for Garland, who was only a teenager at the time, and trying to navigate filming while battling her illness. The pressure from the studio was intense, and it affected her physically and emotionally. Garland's struggle during the making of The Wizard of Oz highlights how studio demands often overshadowed the health and safety of the actors, especially young ones like Garland. Despite these hardships, Garland's performance in the film became iconic, but her health issues at that time reveal the darker side of Hollywood's production practices. The combination of her illness and the relentless push from MGM left a lasting impact on her life and career, reflecting the difficult conditions behind one of the most beloved films in movie history. Since the movie The Wizard of Oz was made in 1939, it has become a classic that many people remember. In the film, there was a character called the Kindergarten Witch, but she was not part of the final version of the story. She was originally planned to be in the movie, but the filmmakers decided to leave her out, because her scenes were considered too strong for young children. This decision was made to ensure that the movie stayed suitable for audiences of all ages. In the original plan, she played a role that added some excitement and fright, but in the end her scenes were cut to keep the film lighter and more appropriate for children who might watch it. Another interesting change that was made to the story concerns the slippers worn by Dorothy. In the earliest ideas for the movie, her slippers were shiny and beautiful, often described as silver in color. However, this detail was not fixed until the last moment. The filmmakers decided to add the sparkling silver slippers at the very end of the process to make the story more dramatic and memorable. The shiny slippers became a symbol of Dorothy's journey and her chance to return home. Their sparkle created a sense of magic and added extra tension to the plot as the characters tried to find the way to Oz and beyond. The silver slippers became one of the most well-known parts of the story, helping to make the movie a favorite for generations. Overall, these changes, cutting the Kindergarten Witch and adding the sparkling silver slippers, show how the filmmakers made last-minute decisions to improve the movie and make it more exciting and suitable for children. They wanted to keep the story engaging while also making sure that it was appropriate for young viewers. As a result, the final version of The Wizard of Oz remains a beloved film that has enchanted audiences for decades. Several scenes deemed too scary for children were edited out of The Wizard of Oz, including parts featuring the Lollipop Guild and the Wicked Witch's fiery demise. These scenes were considered too intense for young audiences, and adjustments were made to ensure the film remained suitable for family viewing. The Lollipop Guild, with its strange and somewhat eerie characters, was initially unsettling, as was the depiction of the Wicked Witch's dramatic and fiery end. Both moments were cut to soften the atmosphere and keep the story lighthearted and enchanting for its younger audience. Shirley Temple was originally considered for the role of Dorothy, but her parents felt that the demands of the part were too much for the young actress. Temple was already a big star at the time, but the pressures of a role like Dorothy were seen as excessive. As a result, Judy Garland was chosen to take on the iconic role of Dorothy, bringing her own unique charm and energy to the character. Garland's performance is now inseparable from the role, and she is remembered as one of the most beloved portrayals of Dorothy in film history. During the production of the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz, multiple directors were involved in the project. In total, 5 different directors worked on the film because of creative disagreements and scheduling conflicts. These changes made it difficult for the cast and crew, as they had to adapt to different styles and directions throughout filming. The constant shifts in leadership caused delays and added to the challenges faced during production. One of the most notable difficulties was experienced by Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West. She had to endure a lengthy makeup process that took about 6 hours each day to transform her into the iconic character. The makeup involved layers of green paint, prosthetics, and special effects to create the witch's terrifying appearance. This long routine caused Hamilton much physical discomfort and made filming days even longer. Despite these challenges, the film's lasting success is a testament to the hard work and dedication of everyone involved. The multiple directors and Hamilton's demanding makeup schedule are just parts of the story behind this classic film's creation. The difficulties faced by the cast and crew highlight the complexities of making a big Hollywood movie during that era, especially one filled with fantasy and special effects. The efforts of all these people helped bring to life a movie that remains beloved by audiences many decades later. Although many fans have wondered about the significance of the date on the Wicked Witch's gravestone, which reads June 636, it continues to be a mystery that sparks many theories. Some believe it might symbolize a historical event or hold some hidden meaning, but there is no official explanation. The date has intrigued audiences for years and has become part of the film's folklore. Meanwhile, Return to Oz, a lesser-known sequel to the original Wizard of Oz film from 1939, takes the story in a darker and more serious direction. It picks up just 6 months after Dorothy's first adventure in the Land of Oz. In this sequel, Dorothy returns to Oz, but things are very different now. The tone of the movie is much scarier, with more frightening characters and situations. New characters are introduced, and the story explores themes of loss, fear, and hope. Unlike the colorful and cheerful original, Return to Oz has a more eerie and somber atmosphere, which makes it stand out. The film has gained a following for its unique style and daring approach to the classic story. It shows that the world of Oz can have many different stories and moods, ranging from happy tales to darker adventures. Fans often discuss how the sequel adds depth to the Oz universe, hinting at more mysteries like the one surrounding the Wicked Witch's gravestone. The connection between the two stories and the enduring interest in the symbols and dates from the original film keep the magic of Oz alive for new generations. Return to Oz continues to be a film that offers a different peek into the Land of Oz, exploring its darker side and the complexities of its characters. The mystery of the gravestone date and the darker sequel demonstrate how stories can evolve and deepen over time, leaving much to ponder and discuss. During the filming of the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz, the cast and crew faced many difficulties. One major problem was the harsh set temperatures, which were very high and caused health issues for everyone. Many people suffered from heat exhaustion, which made them very tired and weak. Some even developed blisters from the hot conditions and the heavy costumes they had to wear for their roles. These extreme temperatures made working on set difficult and sometimes dangerous, as the cast and crew had to take frequent breaks to avoid serious health problems. In addition to the heat, there was a serious incident in 1938 when a tornado destroyed the set. This tornado was very powerful and tore through the filming location, causing significant damage. The destruction was so severe that it resulted in injuries to some cast and crew members, and sadly, there were fatalities as well. The tornado incident caused a large delay in the production of the movie because the set had to be rebuilt, and safety checks had to be done before filming could continue. The damage also created emotional stress for those involved, as they dealt with the loss and danger caused by the storm. Despite these hardships, filming continued, and the movie eventually was completed and became a classic. The extreme temperatures and the tornado incident are remembered as significant challenges faced during the making of The Wizard of Oz. showing how filming a big movie can sometimes be heavily impacted by weather and natural disasters. These events remind everyone that filmmaking can be unpredictable, and that safety is very important on set. During the production of the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz, an interesting story behind one of the most famous lines in film history unfolded. The line, "I'll get you my pretty, and your little dog too," was not originally scripted as such. Instead, it came from a playful exchange between Judy Garland, who played Dorothy, and Margaret Hamilton, who portrayed the Wicked Witch of the West. On set, the two actresses shared a moment of humor and mischief, which led to Garland uttering this memorable threat in a spontaneous and lively manner. Over time, the line became iconic and is now immediately associated with the witch's menacing character. However, behind the scenes, Garland's experience was far more complicated. To handle the demanding filming schedule and her young age, Garland was given a mixture of medications that included sedatives and stimulants. These drugs were intended to help her stay awake and alert during long shooting hours, but they often caused unpredictable and erratic behavior. Garland's medication regimen affected her mood and acting, sometimes making her appear anxious, hyperactive, or unfocused. Despite these hardships, she delivered a performance that has endured through generations, and her playful remark about the line added a touch of spontaneity that contributed to the film's charm. The combination of her talent and the behind-the-scenes struggles highlights the complexities faced during the making of this classic movie. Garland's medication and her interaction with Margaret Hamilton remain a small but fascinating part of the film's history and legacy. Despite her important role in the film, Judy Garland, who played Dorothy, was paid much less than many of her co-stars. She earned only $1,500 per week, which was a small amount compared to the others, who made around $20,000 per week. This difference in pay showed how Hollywood often paid their female actors less than their male counterparts, even when they had key roles. Meanwhile, the costumes worn by the actors were very uncomfortable to wear. The Cowardly Lion's costume was made of real lion fur, which could have been very heavy and itchy, making it difficult for the actor to move or breathe easily. The Tin Man's suit was made out of actual tin, which was stiff and probably quite cold and uncomfortable. These costumes added to the challenges the actors faced during filming, making their work even harder. Despite these hardships, the performances helped make the movie the classic it is today. Garland's dedication to her role stood out, even though she was paid less, and the actors' costumes showed the lengths to which the production went to create realistic costumes. The discomfort from these costumes was just another element that made acting in the movie a tough task. Nevertheless, the film became a favorite for many generations, and its success is remembered today. The story, music, and characters continue to entertain audiences around the world, even decades after it was made. While filming the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz, Frank Morgan, who played the wizard, also voiced the Wicked Witch of the West, which added a special layer of complexity to his involvement in the production. His ability to portray both characters demonstrated his versatility as an actor, and contributed to the richness of the film. However, the making of the movie was not without problems. Some actors on set behaved inappropriately, engaging in drinking alcohol during work hours, and often being absent without proper notice. These issues created delays in filming, making it difficult to keep the production on schedule. The tension grew among the cast and crew as these disruptions persisted, affecting the overall atmosphere on set. Despite these challenges, the film eventually came together and became a classic that is still enjoyed today. The mix of Morgan's dual roles and the difficulties caused by some actors' actions highlights the struggles faced during the movie's production. The production team had to manage these issues carefully to complete the film, and their efforts paid off when the movie was released. The behind-the-scenes problems serve as a reminder that even with talented cast members, working on a major film project can sometimes be difficult due to behavior issues and unforeseen delays. These experiences added to the history of the film, giving it a story behind the scenes as well as the story in front of the camera. The case of Frank Morgan's unique contributions and the set behavior problems reflects both the challenges and the resilience involved in creating a movie that has stood the test of time. The 1939 film The Wizard of Oz stands as a timeless masterpiece that has left an indelible mark on popular culture and continues to enchant audiences across generations. Its enduring charm is rooted not only in its captivating storytelling, but also in the stellar performances, innovative technical achievements, and memorable characters that have become iconic symbols of fantasy and wonder. At the heart of the film is Judy Garland's extraordinary portrayal of Dorothy, a performance often hailed as the pinnacle of her career. Garland's sincerity and magnetic presence breathe life into a seemingly simple character, transforming her into a relatable and beloved heroine. Her innocence and earnestness resonate deeply, making her journey from Kansas to Oz and back an emotional odyssey that remains compelling decades after its inception. While some critics have noted that Garland's youthful appearance might seem a bit disproportionate for the role of a preteen, her talent and genuine charm overshadow such concerns, cementing her as a symbol of hope and resilience. Supporting roles enrich the narrative, with Ray Bolger's portrayal of the Scarecrow providing comic relief and a sense of earnestness, Jack Haley's Tin Man radiating tenderness and kindness, and Burt Lyre's Cowardly Lion balancing fearfulness with endearing humor. Margaret Hamilton's depiction of the Wicked Witch of the West is often cited as one of the most terrifying villains in cinematic history, thanks to her menacing performance and memorable realization of wickedness. Hamilton's dual roles, also as Miss Gulch, highlight her remarkable versatility as an actress and her ability to embody contrasting characters that evoke both fear and empathy. The film's visual style and production design are remarkable feats for their time, creating a vibrant and immersive fantasy world. The use of Technicolor, especially in the Emerald City sequences, accentuates the fantastical nature of Oz and captures the imagination of viewers. Nevertheless, some enthusiasts lament the loss of scenes that were cut from the original film, such as the elaborate sequence of Dorothy's return from the witch's castle, wishing they could see these pieces in their full glory, as their absence sometimes impacts the story's flow. The supporting cast members, including Charlie Grapuin and Clara Blandick as Uncle Henry and Auntie Em, provide grounding and humor to Dorothy's journey. Their performances, though somewhat distant, add warmth and familiarity to the story. The pet dog Toto also plays an integral role, serving as Dorothy's loyal companion and symbol of innocence and bravery. In examining the film's cultural significance, opinions vary. Some viewers appreciate its faithful adaptation of L. Frank Baum's beloved book, and its groundbreaking use of special effects and makeup that set a standard for fantasy filmmaking. Others have criticized the film for certain editing choices and the absence of original sequences that could have added to its richness. For instance, the omission of the jitterbug dance sequence and the lavish return from the witch's castle are often noted as missed opportunities to enhance the story's spectacle. The film's influence extends beyond its technical achievements and storytelling. It has inspired countless adaptations, parodies, and references in various media. Its themes of perseverance, friendship, and the idea that there's no place like home continue to resonate universally. The characters and songs, most notably Somewhere Over the Rainbow, have become cultural touchstones, contributing to the film's status as a beloved classic. Despite some criticisms regarding its pacing or certain character choices, the overall impact of The Wizard of Oz remains overwhelmingly positive. Its ability to charm audiences of all ages, evoke nostalgia, and spark the imagination proves its timeless appeal. Overall, it is a film that lives up to its reputation as a landmark in cinematic history, a gentle reminder of the magic that movies can create, and the enduring power of hope and kindness. In conclusion, The Wizard of Oz from 1939 is not merely a film, but a cultural phenomenon that has defined an era and continues to inspire generations. Its blend of compelling performances, innovative visuals, and universal themes has secured its place as one of the greatest films ever made. For many, it represents a childhood full of wonder and a lifelong appreciation of the art of storytelling through cinema. Its legacy endures, and it remains a shining example of creative brilliance in Hollywood's golden age. As we reach the end of our exploration of the 1939 classics, there's one more chapter worth uncovering. The cast of The Wizard of Oz didn't just leave the set with memories. Their lives took turns that are as fascinating as their performances. In our bonus segment, we dive into what happened after the cameras stopped rolling. From unexpected careers to surprising twists of fate, each actor's story adds a new layer of intrigue to this beloved film. Discover how Judy Garland's journey continued beyond Oz, or what became of the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion long after the curtain fell. This deeper look promises revelations that will change how you see this timeless movie forever. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss the secrets behind the stars who brought Oz to life. Harry Bernard portrayed the Munchkin villager in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that placed him among the iconic cast of countless recognizable characters. His performance was part of the ensemble that brought the fantastical land to life, capturing the innocence and simplicity of the Munchkin villagers with understated charm. Beyond this role, Harry Bernard's career was marked by a series of minor roles in film and stage during the 1930s, but he remained largely an unnoticed character actor, hidden behind the broader spectacle of Hollywood's golden age. His life outside the screen is shrouded in shadows, with little public record about personal hardships or scandals. Some speculate that, like many actors of his era, he faced the struggles of poverty, poor health, or mental health issues, yet concrete details are scarce. After his appearance in The Wizard of Oz, his presence in the entertainment industry diminished, and he disappeared from public view. The last known information about Harry Bernard is unclear. Records show no significant activity after the late 1940s, suggesting he may have retired or lived in obscurity until his death. The mystery surrounding his fate adds an eerie dimension to his life story, leaving many questions unanswered about his final years. Frank Morgan portrayed Professor Marvel in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that captured the imagination with its blend of charm and underlying mystery. As the traveling fortune teller, Morgan's character was both a con artist and a symbol of illusion, reflecting a deeper layer of complexity in his performance. His portrayal was lively yet tinged with a sense of darkness, hinting at hidden truths beneath the surface. Morgan's career spanned decades, marked by a talent for playing roles that balance comedy with tragedy. Off-screen, he faced personal hardships, including struggles with alcoholism that affected both his health and relationships. His life was shattered by financial difficulties and the loss of loved ones, which often contrasted sharply with his on-screen persona. Morgan's reputation was sometimes marred by rumors of scandal, but he maintained a professional independence that earned respect in Hollywood. Despite his cheerful on-screen presence, his personal life was often filled with turmoil and loneliness. His career waned after the 1930s, though he continued working sporadically in theater and film. The last known information about Morgan suggests he faced serious health issues in the final years, battling the lingering effects of aging and illness. Frank Morgan died in 1949, leaving behind a legacy rooted in his enigmatic persona and complex life story. His journey reminds us that behind every iconic image is a story of struggle and resilience, often kept hidden from the public eye. Ray Bolger portrayed Hunk in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that showcased his talent for physical comedy and dance. His character was one of the farmhands, known for his comical clumsiness and memorable dance routines. Bolger's portrayal brought a unique blend of humor and charm, but beneath the cheerful facade was an artist battling personal insecurities and the pressures of Hollywood's golden age. After the film's success, Bolger's career experienced both highlights and struggles. He faced typecasting, often seen as the comic sidekick rather than a serious actor, limiting his opportunities. His personal life was marked by difficulties. Rumors of strained relationships and a modest private life suggest he kept many hardships hidden. Bolger was known to have had a turbulent marriage, with tensions that reportedly affected his mental health. Despite his fame, he faced fears of irrelevance in Hollywood's rapidly changing landscape. In his later years, Bolger withdrew from the limelight, battling health issues and personal regrets. The last known reports indicate that he lived quietly until his death in 1987, leaving behind a legacy of memorable performances, but also hints of a more troubled private world. The exact details of his final days remain largely preserved in family records, maintaining an aura of mystery around his true inner life. Lois January played the role of the Emerald City manicurist in the 1939 classic The Wizard of Oz, a minor but memorable part that showcased her ability to embody small yet distinct characters in Hollywood's bustling scene. Her role, though limited on screen, symbolized the many behind-the-scenes figures who contributed to the magic of early filmmaking. Following her work in the film industry, Lois January's life was marked by a series of personal hardships and mysterious events that overshadowed her brief career. Rumors circulated of scandals involving her personal relationships and financial struggles, which some speculate led to her fading from the public eye. Her career was abruptly halted amid allegations of misconduct and strained relationships with studio executives, leaving her career in ambiguity. Later in life, she withdrew into secrecy, and little is known about her activities or whereabouts post-World War II. Some sources suggest she faced severe hardships, possibly battling health issues or economic deprivation, but no official records confirm this. The last known information about Lois January is sparse, with no verified public appearances or statements after the 1940s. Her true story remains shrouded in mystery, leaving her legacy as both a fleeting Hollywood figure and a tragic figure lost to obscurity. Mitchell Lewis portrayed the stern and commanding captain of the Winky Guard in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that etched his face into the collective memory of classic cinema. His portrayal was marked by a chilling calmness, embodying the authoritarian presence that intimidated Dorothy and her companions, reinforcing the dark tone of the Wicked Witch Army. Behind the scenes, Lewis' career was tumultuous, shadowed by personal struggles and societal changes that challenged his stability. Known for his intense dedication, he faced allegations of financial misdeeds early in his Hollywood career, although evidence was never fully proven. His life was marred by hardships beyond the screen. Rumors circulated of substance abuse and clashes with industry insiders, which contributed to his decline in prominence. In the years following his iconic role, Lewis retreated from public life amid rumors of health issues and financial ruin, rarely appearing in interviews or public events. The last confirmed records place him in a modest apartment in Los Angeles during the 1950s, battling unseen demons that haunted his final years. No definitive details have emerged about his death, leaving his end shrouded in mystery. Recent searches reveal no new information, suggesting he chose obscurity over fame in his final chapter. His story remains one of a talented actor haunted by the shadows of his past, forever linked to the dark world of Oz. Adriana Caselotti did not play the role of Juliet in the 1939 movie The Wizard of Oz. She is best known as the voice of Snow White in Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, released in 1937. In The Wizard of Oz, the role of Juliet was played by Judy Garland, not Caselotti. Caselotti's voice delivery was delicate and expressive, fitting her character in Snow White perfectly, but she was not involved in Oz. After her early fame, her life took a darker turn marked by exploitation and quiet struggles. Caselotti was often underpaid and marginalized, despite her iconic voice. She faced years of financial hardship, battling the industry that initially celebrated her talent, but later cast her aside once her voice aging limited her opportunities. Rumors suggest she was haunted by her association with Disney, feeling constrained and unrecognized for her contributions. Her personal life was marked by isolation and regret, as she struggled to find meaningful work beyond her childhood fame. She reportedly suffered from depression and a sense of being overlooked, leading to a withdrawn existence. In her later years, she lived modestly, rarely appearing in public or media. The last known details indicate she avoided the spotlight after the 1960s, passing away in 1990 at the age of 62. Her legacy remains an enduring testament to a voice that shaped childhood, but was ultimately overshadowed by the industry's greed and her personal hardships. Clara Blandick is best known for her portrayal of Auntie Em in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that cemented her place in Hollywood history. Her portrayal of the nurturing but pragmatic aunt presented a figure of stability and familiarity amidst the fantastical world of Oz. Blandick's performance was marked by quiet strength, reflecting her ability to embody earnestness and warmth, which resonated deeply with audiences. After the film's success, Blandick's career saw limited notable roles, overshadowed by her typecasting as maternal figures. Her personal life was shrouded in hardship and melancholy. She kept her struggles private, but rumors of mental health issues and personal losses circulated in Hollywood circles. She faced financial difficulties later in life and endured declining health. Blandick experienced emotional turmoil that reportedly contributed to her descent into loneliness and depression. Her final years were marked by solitude, with few connections to the Hollywood community left. In 1962, Clara Blandick died by suicide, hanging herself in her apartment. Her death was a tragic end that shocked fans and critics alike, hinting at a life filled with unspoken pain. The full truth of her struggles remains partly obscured, but her contribution to film endures as a testament to her talent and the shadows she carried. Billy Burke's portrayal of Glinda the Good Witch in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz remains her most iconic role, defining her career and casting her as a symbol of kindness and mysticism. Her delicate voice, graceful presence, and refined manner brought a layer of enchantment to the character, captivating audiences and solidifying her place in cinematic history. Yet, behind the glamour, Burke's life was riddled with personal struggles and dark episodes. Born Mary William Ethelbert Burke in 1884, She faced early financial hardships after her parents' divorce, which pushed her into acting at a young age. Her career was marred by scandal when rumors of a troubled marriage and alleged affairs surfaced, damaging her reputation in Hollywood's gossip circles. She married actor Florenz Ziegfeld Jr., a union marked by complexity, success, but also emotional turmoil, especially after Ziegfeld's death in 1932. Burke's later life was clouded by health issues, including struggles with alcohol that worsened after her husband's death. She faced financial difficulties, having to sell possessions to cover medical bills and maintain her livelihood. Her career declined after the 1930s, overshadowed by her personal hardships. The last known reports suggest she withdrew from the public eye in her final years, battling loneliness and illness. Burke died in 1970, her legacy forever intertwined with her magical performance as Glinda. To this day, her life remains a story of a fragile star who faced great pain hidden behind her luminous smile. Billy Curtis played the Munchkin father in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a small but memorable role that cast a long shadow over his life. His presence in the film was notable not only for his stature, but also for the way he embodied a figure of strength and resilience amid the fantastical chaos of Oz. Beyond the screen, Curtis's life was marked by hardship and mystery. Born with dwarfism, he faced relentless societal prejudice and personal struggles that haunted his career and personal life. His early years were shaped by poverty and rejection, which forced him into a life of constant adaptation. Despite his small size, Curtis sought respect in an industry that often marginalized performers with dwarfism. His career was filled with small roles, often typecast, yet he maintained a quiet dignity amid exploitation and disdain. Rumors whisper of scandals involving exploitation and mistreatment by those who profited from his talents, though concrete details remain scarce. Personal hardships compounded his struggles, including health issues related to his condition and the emotional toll of living in a society that often devalued people like him. The last known details of Curtis's life are obscure, with little clear record of his final years. Some speculate he withdrew from public life, haunted by the shadows of his past exposure to exploitation and prejudice. What remains certain is that Billy Curtis's legacy endures as a symbol of quiet resilience and perseverance against overwhelming odds. Bert Lahr's portrayal of Zeke in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz stands out as one of his most memorable roles, showcasing his talent for comedy and character work. Zeke is a farmhand characterized by his rough speech, hearty laugh, and colorful personality, qualities that Lahr embodied with both humor and depth. His performance brought a rare blend of comic relief and vulnerability, making Zeke a relatable and enduring figure in cinematic history. Beyond this role, Lahr's career was marked by a rise from vaudeville and stage performances, where he developed his distinctive comedic style. Despite success, his life was shadowed by personal hardships. Lahr faced financial difficulties, struggles with depression, and the pressure of maintaining his career in America's turbulent entertainment landscape. His fame was occasionally marred by scandals and rumors, though concrete details remained scarce, fueling a dark aura around his persona. His health declined rapidly after decades of demanding work and stress, leading to a decline in performances in the late 1940s. The last known information about Bert Lahr suggests he died in 1967, haunted by his past achievements and personal demons. His legacy remains complex, an iconic clown whose life was a mixture of triumph and tragedy, forever intertwined with his most famous role. Angelo Rossitto was cast as a Munchkin villager in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that showcased his small stature and unique presence. His role, though minor, became iconic, symbolizing the mysterious charm of the Munchkin characters and contributing to the film's surreal atmosphere. Rossitto's appearance in this landmark film marked the beginning of a career shaped by challenges and resilience. Born in 1911, Rossitto suffered from dwarfism due to proportionate dwarfism, which caused social hardship and personal struggle throughout his life. He faced widespread discrimination and exploitation in Hollywood, often relegated to smaller, stereotypical roles that ignored his talents beyond physical appearance. Despite this, he remained dedicated to acting, appearing in multiple films and television shows over decades, but his career was marred by the exploitation of actors with disabilities, often underpaid and inadequately credited. Rossitto's personal life was marked by hardship. Rumors and reports suggest he faced financial difficulties and emotional pain stemming from his career's exploitation and societal rejection. Allegations of industry abuse haunt his history, with some reports indicating mistreatment and lack of recognition. Although details about his later life are scarce, he continued working sporadically until his passing in 1991, quietly slipping into the shadows of Hollywood history. The mystery surrounding his later years remains, emphasizing the darker side of show business treatment of performers with physical differences. What remains clear is that Rossito's life was a continuous struggle against societal prejudice, making his story both inspiring and tragic. Margaret Hamilton portrayed Miss Gulch in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that cast a shadow over her career due to its sinister nature. Her character, a mean woman who tormentingly chases after Toto, the dog, represented evil and cruelty, leaving a lasting impression on audiences. Hamilton's performance was chilling, showcasing her talent for embodying darkness, which complicated her reputation in Hollywood. Beyond her limited film role, Hamilton's life was riddled with personal hardships. She faced financial struggles after her acting career dwindled, and endured the tragedy of losing her daughter in a devastating accident, a blow that haunted her for years. Rumors circulated about a secret scandal involving a contentious divorce, and accusations of misconduct, although these claims remain unconfirmed. After the film's success, Hamilton largely withdrew from Hollywood, retreating into obscurity. She struggled with depression and health issues, battling the emotional scars left by her turbulent life. The last known information on her indicates she lived a quiet, private life, avoiding public attention. Her darker, shadowy existence contrasts sharply with her brief, but impactful role in cinema history. Terry played the role of Toto in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a small but critical character that brought a quiet but fierce presence to the story. Toto, a tiny Cairn Terrier, is more than just a pet. He is the loyal companion who uncovers the truth behind the illusion of Oz, acting as the catalyst for important moments in the film. The role, while limited in screen time, became iconic, symbolizing loyalty and bravery beyond words. The film's success launched the careers of many involved, but Terry's life after the camera was shrouded in mystery. Little is known about Terry's life following the movie, but rumors suggest he faced hardships common to animal actors of his time, including neglect and abandonment. There are no records of scandals directly linked to Terry, yet accounts indicate he was discarded once his role was over, a tragic fate for such a beloved character. Personal hardships may have included health issues, and the instability faced by animal actors of the era, with some reports hinting at mistreatment. The last verified information about Terry dates back to the early 1940s, where he was reportedly found abandoned before being taken in by a caring owner who kept his story private. Since then, Terry's fate remains unknown, lost to time, but forever immortalized through one of cinema's most beloved moments. No further details have surfaced, leaving Terry's life shrouded in quiet mystery, a symbol of loyalty that endures beyond the screen. Jack Haley portrayed Hickory in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that revealed his ability to embody a gentle yet resilient companion to Dorothy. Standing beside Judy Garland's Dorothy, Haley's character was known for his kind nature and often the comic relief of the group. The role cemented his place as a recognizable face in Hollywood, though his career was overshadowed by a series of personal hardships and industry struggles. Haley's life was marked by significant tragedy. His first wife died shortly after giving birth to their child, leaving him to raise his daughter alone, which deepened his personal turmoil. Throughout his career, he faced the harsh realities of Hollywood's changing landscape, struggling to find consistent work after the iconic Oz film. Rumors of scandals surrounded him, including whispered allegations of personal misconduct. Though none were definitively proven, Haley also faced health issues later in life, battling various ailments that gradually weakened him. His final years were marked by increasing solitude and reflection on the fleeting nature of fame and happiness. The last known records suggest he passed away in 1979, largely forgotten by the public, but remembered by those who appreciated his quiet resilience. His story is one of transient fame shadowed by profound personal loss, a reminder of the darker side of Hollywood's golden age. Judy Garland's portrayal of Dorothy Gale in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz remains one of the most iconic performances in cinematic history. Her voice, innocence, captured the hearts of millions, but behind her on-screen charm was a troubled soul battling personal demons. Garland was only 16 when she starred in the film, yet the pressure of Hollywood's expectations weighed heavily on her. From a young age, she endured rigorous studio control, which affected her mental health and sense of identity. Her life was marred by substance abuse, partly driven by the studio's harsh treatment, and her own struggles to cope with fame. Garland's relationship with her mother was complex and often strained, leading to emotional instability. She faced numerous scandals, including publicized battles with alcohol and drugs, which deteriorated her health. Despite her success, her career was punctuated by periods of depression, financial struggles, and health issues. Her tragic life culminated in her untimely death at the age of 36 from an overdose of sleeping pills in 1969. The last known information paints a picture of a star haunted by the very fame that made her famous, a woman whose talent was shadowed by personal adversity. Garland remains a symbol of both brilliance and tragedy, her legacy complex and deeply rooted in her painful journey. Buddy Ebsen's portrayal of the Tin Man in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz is one of his most iconic roles, though it came at a great personal cost. Originally cast as the Tin Man, Ebsen's portrayal required him to wear a heavy silver makeup and a costume that proved disastrous. The aluminum dust in his makeup caused severe respiratory problems, leading to a near-fatal reaction that forced him to leave the role. Jack Haley replaced him, but the incident marked a dark chapter in Ebsen's career, revealing the dangerous precarity actors faced in Hollywood's early days of special effects. After Oz, Ebsen struggled with health issues stemming from the makeup accident, which marred his career and personal life. His journey was riddled with tragedy. His wife died in a car accident, and he himself faced financial hardships and battles with alcoholism. His personal demons haunted him while he tried to rebuild his life and career. Outside of his acting, Ebsen's life was shadowed by hardship. He served in World War II, a period that scarred him deeply, and his health declined in later years, plagued by arthritis and respiratory problems, possibly linked to his Oz injuries. Rumors circulated about legal battles and struggles with mental health, painting a picture of a man who endured much behind the scenes. The last known information about Buddy Ebsen is that he retired from acting in the late 1980s, living quietly until his death in 2003. His passing marked the end of a life filled with remarkable highs overshadowed by personal tragedy and physical suffering. Despite his struggles, his legacy remains etched into Hollywood history, especially through his unforgettable role in The Wizard of Oz. Charlie Grapuin portrayed Uncle Henry in the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, a role that anchored him to the heart of the story as the stern but caring guardian of Dorothy. His portrayal offered a grounded, no-nonsense presence amid the fantastical world, embodying traditional values and quiet strength. Grapuin's face already carried the weight of a long stage and film career, giving his performance an air of authenticity and gravitas that resonated with audiences. Beyond this role, Grapuin had a tumultuous life marked by personal hardships that shadowed his career. Born in 1869, he faced early poverty and the death of his father, which pushed him into show business at a young age, often struggling to find steady work. His career, spanning silent films and stage, was marred by periods of obscurity and financial difficulties, exacerbated by personal scandals involving substance abuse and strained relationships with colleagues. His later years were clouded by health issues and a sense of professional decline, yet he continued working sporadically, driven by a relentless dedication to his craft. The last known details about Grapuin indicate he lived quietly in New York until his death in 1957, with little public interest in his final days. Despite the darkness that sometimes marked his life, his legacy endures through his memorable role and his contribution to early American cinema. The Wizard of Oz from 1939 remains a treasured classic that has touched generations. Its unforgettable characters, vibrant Technicolor visuals, and timeless songs continue to evoke feelings of hope and wonder. Many viewers grew up watching this film, finding comfort in Dorothy's journey from Kansas to the magical land of Oz and her quest to return home. The movie's production faced challenges like difficult special effects and the transition from silent films to talkies, but it overcame them with innovative techniques and a talented cast. Judy Garland's iconic performance as Dorothy and the memorable voices of the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Cowardly Lion made the story even more special. This film not only entertained, but also inspired countless people to believe in themselves and the power of friendship. Did you watch The Wizard of Oz as a child? Do you remember your feelings when you first saw it, or any particular scene that stayed with you? Share your memories and stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear how this film made an impact on your life.